You can run on for a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or later God cut you down, sooner or later God cut you down. Don't tell that long-time liar, don't tell that midnight rider, tell the rambler and the gambler and the backbiter, tell him the God's gonna cut him down.
Welcome everybody to the Sim Ability Xfinity Series Racing League. As tonight, our drivers take on Richmond Raceway for 120 laps under the lights. Right now, the times are really close with everybody. As Jason Lance is your fastest guy atop the leaderboard, followed by Eddie Hawks, Billy Wise, Cody Magouyrk, and Stephen Kiefer. And as you can see, the times they're fairly close, so this could be a good race tonight, especially as the tire wear plays out. Right there's a look at the number 45 machine of Eddie Hawks. Eddie's looking to get his second win of the season here. There's a look at the number 23 of Tom Johnson. Tom right now, he's fourth in the points, actually tied for third with Stephen Kiefer, the 22 machine. And they're actually just 9 points behind the 28 machine of Cody Magouyrk for second. So there's a tight points battle going on for second place right now. Kodak film machine, Derek Brown. I don't care what anybody says, the Kodak car was one of the best looking cars ever to grace a NASCAR track. The 4 car of Matthew Stern, he's sitting right outside the top 5 and 6 on the speed charts right now. So we got, well, actually just jumped up to third right there. Qualifying's going to be real close tonight. That's 6 guys that's right there on top of each other. There's a look at Jen Capers in the 13 car. The 66 of Brian Lawhead in the Bushmobile. We'll ride along here with the 76 machine of Jason Lance as he shows us how to run this track right now. You see Jason's taking it real nice and easy there on his entry. Not using up that right front tire. As practice starts to wind down here, we gotta pay the bills and run some commercials. Gotta give a big shout out to Glenn Sidman, thanks to Sim Ability. along with Florida Paver Sealing, or Paver Sealing Florida, I should say. AdminBoxx, Project VetJet, and Action Sports Foundation. Thank you guys for making all this possible, and thank you for all the racers and the viewers out there as well. All right, that's going to do it for practice there. As you see, Jason Lance top leaderboard, followed by Eddie Hawks, Matthew Stern, Billy Wise, Cody Magouyrk rounding out your top 5. We're right along with Stephen Kiefer here as he makes his attempt to qualify in here. Steven puts himself outside pole, as your pole sitter right now is Jason Lance. Matthew Stern's sitting fourth right now. As here comes the 45 machine on his second lap. Puts Eddie up to the fifth spot right now. And here comes his teammate, the 28 machine of Cody Magouyrk. Cody on his first lap is sitting third. Let's see if he can bruise here on his second lap. Cody stays third. All right, as we get ready for 120 laps here. Jason Lance sitting on pole, Stephen Kiefer outside pole. Second row made up of Cody Magouyrk on the inside. Outside him, the 32 machine of Billy Wise. Matthew Stern, Eddie Hawks make up row number 3. Tom Johnson, Derek Brown, row number 4. Johnny Berardi, Jen Capers in row number 5. Brian Lawhead and Quentin Moore round out your field tonight. There's a good shot. Near field. Trying to see who I believe is going to make it up through the field tonight. I don't know. I feel like Tom Johnson might have something to the field. All right, pace car is ready to pull in. Jason brings him to the restart zone and green flag drops. Jason gets out to a nice lead there. Steven keeps the 22 machine high, leaving room for Cody. Everybody's able to make it there out of turn number 2, all right. I spoke too soon. Looks like 13 machine got a little bit loose, got into the wall a little bit. Quentin didn't have anywhere to go. As you see the hood of that machine just flying all over the place. Turn 2, Calamity corner. All right, lights are off on the pace car. About ready to get this party restarted. Jason Lance out front, Stephen Kiefer second, Cody Magouyrk third, Billy Wise fourth, Eddie Hawks fifth, Tom Johnson up one spot, sixth, Derek Brown up to seventh, Johnny Berardi eighth, Brian Lawhead ninth, Matthew Stern back to 10th. Green flag's out. 76. Icy Machine gets out to a nice lead there. So here come the teammates working on the bottom side. Eddie Hawks up to third already. Right behind his teammate, the 28 machine, Cody Magouyrk. As you see, Billy Wise, Stephen Kiefer fighting for the spot. Yellow flag is out. Turn number 2, claims another one. It's going to bring the yellow out again. He's able to slow it down so he didn't gain too much damage from that. Still enough to make a trip to pit road though. All right. Field spot right go under green. Once again, Jason Lance, Cody Magouyrk, Eddie Hawks, Stephen Kiefer, Billy Wise, your top 5. Tom Johnson, 6th. Derek Brown, 7th. And they're in the restart zone. Jason fires off. You see the 45 gets under his teammate. Move Eddie Hawks up the 2nd spot. Stephen Kiefer gets a little bit loose. He collects it back up. Johnny Berardi facing the wrong way down the backstretch. So he gets it turned around here. Johnny hit that wall like it owed him money. Turn number 2. Once again, collects another one. That exit of 2 is so treacherous. And as you can see, it's claimed a lot tonight. Budget Customs cheering for the 21 machine. Quentin Moore. Well, Quentin's the hard charge of the race so far. He's up 5 spots to 7th right now. There's a look at that Ford Mustang. Your top 5, Jason Lance in the 76 machine. Followed by the 45, Eddie Hawks. Billy Wise up to 3rd in the 32 machine. Stephen Kiefer in the double deuce. Followed by Tom Johnson in the 23 machine. All right, lights are off the pace car once again. Jason Lance about ready to bring him into the restart zone. Let's see if Eddie is able to keep up with him. Looks like Brian got a little bit loose off 2. He's able to keep control of it, keep it going. Back up front, we got the 32 going underneath the 45. That's a battle there for 2nd spot. Give it to Billy Wise. Oh, and Billy gets loose coming off of 2. And you see Billy's able to get by Eddie for 2nd spot there. He starts to get back in the gas. And turn 2, gets another one. All right, pace cars about ready to duck in once again. Jason Lance, Eddie Hawk, Tom Johnson, Quentin Moore, your top four. Jason fires off, gets a good restart once again. Tom Johnson looking to move up the runner-up spot there. Oh man, Quentin Moore. Oh, we didn't even get to turn 2 this time. Looks like the 21 just got loose. We went to go start braking. And the 28 had nowhere to go, nor Matt in the 4 car. It's going to put Tom Johnson out front right now. Lights are off the pace car. Tom Johnson, Derek Brown, your front row, followed by Brian Lawhead, Stephen Kiefer, Jason Lance 5th, Eddie Hawk 6th, Matthew Stern 7th, Jen Capers 8th. Pace car's in. Tom fires off. Three machine leads lap number 30. As here comes Jason Lance to make a charge as he looks underneath the 69 machine. Now he goes underneath Brian. Jason Lance back up to second. Here comes the 45, followed through as well. Tom Johnson, Jason Lance battling for the lead. As Jason looks to the outside. Jason Lance back up front in the 76 machine. As here comes Eddie Hawks right behind him in the 45. So Jason Lance out front, followed by the 45, Eddie Hawks. As the 66 also makes his way by almost. Tom Johnson keeps battling there on the bottom, keeping third spot. Stop me if you heard this one before. Jason Lance out front. The second lead over Eddie Hawks in the 45 machine. As I believe when they pitted, that should give them enough fuel to get to the very end here. Tom Johnson running third. Matthew Stern and 4 car starting to make a run here. Right along with Maddox, makes the pass there on the outside. He's being real mindful of turn 2. He's already bit him once, he wanted to make sure he didn't bite it again. There's like Stephen Kiefer as he works on the inside of the 66. That's a battle for position there for 5th. Stephen in that tight points battle as he's tied with Tom Johnson. And they're only 9 points behind Cody Magouyrk. And Cody's a lap down right now, so they could possibly make up some points here. As you see, Steven able to make that pass. Now he's right behind Tom Johnson. Steven's able to get around Tom Johnson there. Moves him up the 4th spot. Out front, Jason Lance, followed by the 45, Eddie Hawks. Matthew Stern, third. Stephen Kiefer, fourth. Tom Johnson, fifth. Brian Lawhead, sixth. Derek Brown, seventh. Cody Magouyrk's eighth. As you look back from the roof of the leader at the 45, Eddie Hawk's back there. And you see Cody was able to get by there, but that wasn't for position. Yellow flag is out. That was a rough hit there by Quentin. And as you hear, it doesn't not take that much at all for that car to turn around on you coming off of two. He was barely into the gas and the back end just came out. This is a tough racetrack. All right, lights are off on the pace car. Matthew Stern brings him into the restart zone. Brian Lawhead outside him. Jason Lance third. Eddie Hawks fourth. Leaders fire off. Brian Lawhead gets a good restart there on the outside. Let's see if he can do anything with it. There's a good battle up front here. Oh, Brian gets into the wall. Not sure if there's a little bit of net code from that or not on that. As that gives the lead back to Jason Lance. In the 45, Eddie Hawks is fighting hard to get to second. He gets loose. He saves it. What a save by the 45 there. Cold tires right there probably. As here comes Eddie once again, fighting on the inside. Gets that second position, moves up there to the high line. He's got 1.2 second gap to the race between him and first place is Jason Lance. Cody Magouyrk was your lucky dog that last time. So that puts Cody back on the lead lap. Now Stephen Kiefer has moved up to third, got around Matthew Stern there. Right now, Billy Wise in position to be your lucky dog, as long as he doesn't bring out the next yellow he'll be involved with. As Tom's looking low on the Ford machine. That is Tom Johnson up to fourth. But here comes Matt on the outside, fighting hard. Tom Johnson moves up the fourth spot there. As Eddie's closing that gap. He's down under a second. 6/10 behind him. Oh, Eddie was closing that gap until I said something. Now Jason started opening back up. That gap's back to a second now. Jason Lance out front, followed by the 45, Eddie Hawks. Stephen Kiefer in third. Tom Johnson fourth. Matthew Stern fifth. Derek Brown sixth. Got a little bit loose there. Brian Lawhead seventh. Cody Magouyrk eighth. Billy Wise ninth. Jen Capers 10th. Quentin Moore 11th. And you see the gap there between first and second place. And he got loose off of two once again. He's able to gather it back up. But there's a good shot of the 22. He's 4.5 seconds back from your leader, Jason Lance. So we got 50 laps to go this time around. Eddie is able to cut a 10th off there. I give Jason credit. He's able to manage that gap. He lets Eddie get so close, and next thing you know, he starts turning up a bit. As you see, he's just a tick faster than Eddie there. Jason Lance out front, followed by the 45 of Eddie Hawks. The 22 is Stephen Kiefer in third. Tom Johnson in the 23 machine, fourth. Derek Brown, fifth. Cody Magouyrk's up to sixth. Matthew Stern, seventh. Brian Lawhead, eighth. Billy Wise running ninth right now in the lucky dog spot. You see, Eddie's still getting a little bit loose off too. Listen again to the throttle, and you start seeing that orange tape turn more and more to the right. And it's right where the banking drops off. Boy, it reaches out and it just gets your attention real quick. 40 laps to go as Jason Lance crosses the line. Eddie's trying to close that gap. As you see, lap time's really starting to fall off here. Just a few laps ago, they were running 22.9s, 23 flats. Now run 23.4s, 23.2. So 45's right there. Let's see if he's able to do anything this closest anybody's been to Jason all night. Woo! Eddie's pushing. It's cost some time right there. So right now, leaders are coming up on Matthew Stern. That's going to put him in the lucky dog spot. As right now, Brian Lawhead is. And that's not good news for Billy Wise. As Jason puts him a lap down, that's going to give Matthew the lucky dog spot for right now. Your top five, the 76 of Jason Lance out front, 45 of Eddie Hawks. Stephen Kiefer in third, Tom Johnson running fourth. Cody Magouyrk has cracked the top five. He's probably hoping for a late race caution. Give him a shot with the leaders here. Jason's starting to open up that gap up to second. Right now they got 12 seconds over third place of Stephen Kiefer. As Cody's starting to look to get by the 23 of Tom Johnson. That's a battle for fourth spot right now. Cody's up to fourth. It's about 5 seconds between him and Stephen Kiefer for third. He's got enough time. He's 2/10 faster than Steven as well. As you see, your leaders running pretty much identical lap times. 23.57 to a 23.55 of Eddie Hawks. .25 laps to go. Jason Lance out front, followed by the 45 Eddie Hawks. Stephen Kiefer third. Cody Magouyrk fourth. Tom Johnson, your top five. As your leaders also put Derek Brown a lap down. So you got 5 cars on the lead lap. Cody's about 2.5 seconds behind Stephen Kiefer right now. That last time around, he was about a half second faster. Cody's trying to wheel this car to the 3rd spot right now. You see, last time around, Steven ran a 24.1 to Cody's 23.4. Cody's there. This is a battle for 3rd spot with 20 laps to go. They're coming up on the lap car, Jen Capers. Cody throws it through the middle. Gives Cody Magouyrk 3rd spot. Jason Lance out front, followed by Eddie Hawks. Cody Magouyrk 3rd. Stephen Kiefer 4th. Tom Johnson sitting 5th right now. If you see that spec there, that's your leader. It's starting to come all the way up the 5th spot. This will be win number 10 of the year for Jason if he's able to pull it off, keep clean for the next 15 laps. As he's open almost a 2-second lead over Eddie Hawks. You see that back end try to step out once again. Okay, Magouyrk, your fastest car last lap. Correction. Jason Lance was 23.55. That. Jason's getting ready to lap fifth spot of Tom Johnson. $11 laps to go. As Jason goes low there on Tom. Ten laps to go. Jason Lance out front, followed by Eddie Hawks, Cody Magouyrk, Stephen Kiefer fourth, Tom Johnson in your lucky dog spot in fifth. Eight to go. And he's trying all he can to close that gap. But I don't think anybody has anything for Jason Lance tonight. He said he likes this track, and it's showing. Jason Lance out front, followed by Eddie Hawks. Cody Magouyrk in third. Stephen Kiefer in fourth, and he's already become the lucky dog. Four laps to go for your leader right there in the icy machine. That's one icy machine I've never seen broken down. Three to go for Jason as he's got almost a 3-second gap over Eddie. As here comes your leader for the white flag. As Jason Lance takes it through 3 and 4 for the final time tonight. And brings it home for win number 10 on this season. Followed by Eddie Hawks and Cody Magouyrk, your top 3. Jason Lance with another dominating win tonight. Hey, Cody, you got a copy?
Yeah, buddy, I got you.
Hey, buddy. Hard fought night for you, but way to bring it home in third spot tonight.
Yeah, we spent our night fighting pretty hard there. Had a issue with my pedals here. I had to kind of adjust, and then didn't get the green flag in time for that last run, so I had to drive from the back of the field pretty much up to third there. But I had the strategy pretty much where I wanted it, but that's a little bit of issue I had here on the sim rig kind of put us in a bad spot there. But all in all, it was a good night. We ended up third. Our teammate Eddie Hawks, who just joined RB2 Motorsports last week, he finished second. So second and third for the team. Come out here with pretty clean cars tonight. We were fast. I feel like if I could have just got one more caution, I had what I needed to beat the 76, but we just didn't get a caution there at the end. So we'll take a third and get out of here. I kind of butchered New Hampshire last week. I had a really good run going there and threw it away at the end and screwed myself on some points. So come out here third tonight and put the whole race together. I'm pretty happy with that. Pretty happy for 82. Get a second place finish. That's a good night for the RB2 Motorsports team. And these old Energy Smithlow Country colors. It's great to be back in this car again from our sponsors, and I feel like I could have done a couple of things different there, but we'll get out here with the third. Um, Richmond is a place I've always enjoyed, but never been great here. I like it, but I'm not the best. So I'll live with that and be pretty much happy with it.
Yeah, especially like I said, battling back the way you did. Definitely would be happy with coming off the podium, even a top 5. And like you said, you salvaged some points tonight as well.
Yeah, that last run, man, that's kind of the catch-22. I really wish I would have got a caution because I was I was hauling the mail. I had that car pretty much hooked up the way I wanted it to. I knew what I needed to do for entry and exit, and I had it rolling. I think a few times I beat the 76's lap times there, so we were rolling. We were pretty fast. If I could have got one more caution, I would have stayed out and just took what I had because I wasn't hurting my tires at all, and I had plenty of fuel to get to the end. But that strategy deal didn't quite fall in the favor that I wanted. But yeah, after New Hampshire and a couple other disappointments we've had this year, we'll take a third and get out of here. I wasn't sure if I was gonna be good enough to get back past the 22. I thought I could catch the 23, but I wasn't sure if I could get the 22, and I just kind of locked into a rhythm there and clicked off 5 times. Next thing I know, I looked up and the 22 was right there, and I was like, well, maybe we can get a podium out of this. So yeah, I got Darlington circled in a few weeks. That's the track I feel like maybe I can finally get this damn monkey off my back and finally break through and stop these second and thirds. I've really been good there, so maybe we can build a little momentum going into Darlington, and maybe we can do something special there.
Hell yeah, man. That sounds great. I gotta give a shout out to all your people, Cody.
Yeah, first of all, my mom, who's been having health issues, she's always my big supporter now. I love her more than anything, so I always gonna give her a shout out. My dad, he's right there with her. Um, I gotta thank Energy Smith Low Country. I've had them here at RB2 Motorsports for a while now. My buddy Patrick Schaefer. Um, Shout out to my teammates Eddie Hawks tonight for finishing second, and Quentin Moore. Good to have him back on the track again. Didn't quite go the way he wanted it to go, but we'll work on getting him dialed in, try to get him up there with us. And as always, shout out to my other teammate Derek Grigsby. Um, just I appreciate everybody that supports us and always cheers for us each race. Sweeple, anybody else I'm possibly forgetting, but I appreciate everybody that always supports us and tunes into these broadcasts. And we try to share them with everybody, try to get as many views as we can. So, qualified third and finished third, so I feel like that was a pretty solid night for us. We took a track that's not quite our best and ended up finishing pretty good with it. So I'm happy.
All right, man. That sounds awesome. All right, we'll see you next week, Cody.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the broadcast as always, man. You always do a great job. Thank you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Eddie, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, runner up once again tonight.
Yeah, I know it. I always thought I was going to catch him there for a little bit, but man, I was just about so loose. And then I had no tire left either, but I just wanted to stay on the track and not spin out.
Yeah, there's a few times you had me scared coming off it too.
Yeah, be scared too. Yeah, it's like I was loose. I mean, all night. Then as the tire wore, coming out of 2, going into 3, I mean, I was zigzagging going down the whole straightaway. I don't know what it was, but I was catching him there for a little bit, and I think he had a little bit of brake problem or something. Is the only reason I was catching him, but it was fun though. I saw him all night. That's a good thing.
You were the only one that got to see him all night.
Yeah, yeah. We had a little bit of a rough road to start out, but I think everybody kind of got settled in a little bit. It's a tough track.
I've never seen a race here that hasn't been rough from the start. Just because that turn 2, once that banking drops off, if you're in the throttle just just a hair too much. I mean, that back end comes right around.
You can ask Billy that. Yeah, I mean, like we told everybody, don't get on the gas unless you're pointed straight. Simple as that. You get on the gas early, you're going around. That's all there is to it.
Oh yeah, that bit 4, maybe 5 people tonight.
At least. But it's a fun track. I mean, it's tough, but it's fun. And yeah, we gave him a run for our money though.
I mean, like I said, you closed up there. Close to 20 to go, and you're right there. I was like, well, if this is gonna be anybody's chance, it's gonna be your chance right now.
Yeah, I was pulling him in, and then my right front started going, and like I said, and then I was just so worried about getting loose. I didn't want to throw away a second place away spinning out that late. So yeah, I thought if I could have got up to his bumper, then I'd try a little bit harder. But I had no tire left. I don't think none of us did in the end. But Jason's good at them saving them tires. I can tell you that.
Hey, it's not a bad debut for your new team as well.
Yeah, no, not at all. Yeah, we ran another league Wednesday night or Monday night too, and finished 3rd and 4th. So yeah, it's a good start for RV2. As long as we keep getting podiums, we'll be good to go.
Yep, just keep checking them off. Can give a shout out to all your people there, Eddie.
Yeah, so shout out RV2 joining that team there. Me and Cody had a pretty good run, and PVA, of course. There's a special that's running on the Sportsman's Channel that the Army Bass put on, and I'm featured in it, and another PVA member from Tampa area, Gulf Coast chapter. If anybody gets a chance to watch it, I know it's on early, like the next 3 or 4 days, but you might want to check it out if you got the Sportsman's Channel. So yeah, that was fun.
What's the name of the show there, Eddie?
It's the Army Bass. I think it's called Force on Force, but it's a special episode. So it airs on the Sportsman Channel. I think it's on at like 6:30 in the morning tomorrow, then like 7:30 on Friday. They're running 4 days in a row, and it's just yeah, I think it's called Force on Force. It's all like military guys that we all fish against each other in bass tournament.
I mean, not to spoil it, but how'd you do?
Oh, it was just well, it wasn't a tournament for us. It was just like a special that we did. Well, I fished against another guy and beat him, but it was just us two out there. But they have like 20, 30 boats when they do it. It's just the just really making a special to put the word out about the paralyzed veterans of America, and plus doing some bass fishing as well. But it's more to get the word out about what we do and so forth.
All right, that's awesome. Everybody, make sure you guys get a chance to check that out.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can find any clips online. Maybe I'll post them on the Facebook page as well. Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I appreciate it. But yeah, I got to thank Billy too. I mean, for putting this on, and Simability, and thank you for broadcasting. Sure, it's fun to go back and watch.
Trust me, this one will be a good one for you to watch too, because we rode with you a few times coming off it too. And
yeah, there you go. That'll be good then.
All right, Eddie, we'll see you next week, bud.
All right, bud. Appreciate it.
Hi, welcome to Jason Lane.
Hey there, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Jason. How you doing? Apparently, this is what happens when you really like a track, huh?
Yeah, I really like the especially designed short tracks like Richmond, Martinsville. I hear that we maybe run street stop next, so that'll purely be like all short tracks. So that's always a fun time. But that is a good race, and I had a little hiccup constantly on my end after the last final caution because I started having brake issues. Uh, it would show that it was stuck on a little bit, so I tapped the side of it, and that'll fix it. And I had to do that twice, and then once it got to 3 times, and it was just stuck on. I couldn't do anything after that, even down the straightaways. It was showing, it was registering that it had some pressure going on to it. So that's a constant problem I've been having a couple of months now. So it looks like I'll be turning them down and working on them again, cleaning them out. But I'm just lucky we didn't get a final restart. Get those guys closer to me, or otherwise uh, I might not have pulled this one off for my 10th win.
I don't know. It seemed like you were able to restart a lot better than everybody else was tonight. I've noticed that when you're at the control car. So I don't think you might have had that much to worry about.
Yeah, that was before I started having brake issues. So
Well, that is true as well, but even then, I don't know if anybody could have actually caught you tonight, Jason.
well, we got some really tough competitors out there. I mean, I've seen a lot of improvement over just the past couple of years. I've been racing with these guys. Everybody's been getting a lot better, and there's the respect level has always been there. So that's the good part of this league.
Oh yeah, it definitely is, and definitely puts on a lot of good racing.
So Charlotte, I really like Charlotte, and then Darlington now being their blast. It's Darlington be more like a follow the leader type of track because it's very hard to race side by side there.
Yeah, Darlington is just one track I've never ever had a good race at. That track always finds a way to bite me, and it definitely gets me pretty good off turn number two. Sort of like this track does. Richmond, I'm usually good at, but yeah, tonight we saw a lot of the turn two calamity.
Yeah, I mentioned Darlington's always been bad off of turn two, but ever since they added in the safer barrier, I imagine that's narrowed the groove off turn two more more so than before they had that.
Yeah, if the safer barrier doesn't get you the bump off of two, will.
But it's the track felt okay tonight here at Richmond, other than 3 and 4, which getting will really get tight for me, yeah, especially going into the long run. But 1 and 2 wasn't that bad. You just had to control your throttle inputs.
Yeah, I know. I believe it got. I forget who it was we rode with when it happened. And I mean, they weren't even in the throttle that hard or that much, but it was enough. And that's all it takes. It's just enough.
Yeah, and this would be the first time that we ever ran a really high horsepower car like this. So it's definitely a learning skill and a learning curve to it.
All right, Jason, give a shout out to all your people there.
Just my family, everybody who comes out races us, every night. League admins who help put this on, and my friend Rachel. Thinking about her, she's the one who has ALS, so I always, wish that he's always comfortable. So
what do you think about next week in Charlotte? I know you said you like the track. Is we gonna do a transition, or do you know if it's gonna be a straight nighttime or daytime race?
Um, I don't know if it'll be. I know that we always try to have a nighttime race at all of our tracks, so I don't know if we'll do the transition period or not. But we may do so. We may do something with that.
I should ask everybody else this. What do you think about Kyle Larson's chances at the double this Sunday?
Oh, really, to tell the truth, I don't watch. I don't watch today's NASCAR any. The only thing I don't watch is the Daytona 500. Ever since I think Tony Stewart was like the last one of the 1990s drivers to retire around 90s to early 2000s. Early 2000s is when I started watching NASCAR, and then all the drivers I grew up watching, they retired, and all these really crazy rule changes, the stages. I mean, it's just turned me off to NASCAR. Just turned me off to watching it. So I'll watch the Daytona 500, but that's it.
See, that's I'm the opposite there. Is I've sort of because of the new car, I've lost the love for the Daytona 500. Like I get excited for the start of the season, but it yeah, I'm with you. The racing just isn't what it used to be, and I can see your point of view there, Jason.
Yeah, you don't really have to worry about tire wear, how they have those stages set up. I mean, I would prefer there be no stages at all. People had to implement more pit strategy or tire saving like they used to before they had those rules.
Yeah, like I said, new car sort of has ruined the sport, as far as I'm concerned. So,
Oh yeah, I hope they don't get. I hope they don't go electric.
um, I'll become even more of a dirt late model fan than I already am. Uh, far as watching any type of racing, there is not a better race out there than the dirt late models, World of Outlaws or Lucas Oil.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it. I don't really watch that much dirt racing. I'd be more into like the late model asphalt type of racing. I may watch sometimes. Or you
Well,
go back and you just watch old races that you've grown up with, you kind of missed, and by then you forgot about how it turns out. So I've done that for quite a bit.
my parents, growing up, they recorded every NASCAR race every Sunday, and they did that from like the time that the VCR was created till VCRs became obsolete. So, what, 87 till like 97, pretty much 10 years of VHS tapes.
Yeah, I hope you didn't get in much trouble if you copied over. over.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I think I did one time. Boy, yeah. It's funny because the only reason my parents ever kept the tapes of those races was just in case if the like cable went out and they had something to watch.
Yeah. Well, lucky for YouTube, you can go back and watch most of those races now.
Yes, yes. I do find myself watching NASCAR classics on YouTube a good bit, and yeah, it just takes me back to my childhood real quick.
And then some blasphemy. I I really wasn't much of a Earnhardt fan. I was more like a Jeff Gordon fan. To me, it's like Earnhardt was just always like wrecked a bunch of drivers. And to me, that's not really clean racing when you do that.
All right, that's gonna be Jason Lance's last ever interview.
Okay. I imagine you're an Earnhardt fan.
uh,
To be fair, I didn't get to watch him much. I didn't get to watch what he was all about. Growing up in the '90s, I came out much later watching NASCAR.
I grew up in a household where Dale Earnhardt was like the biblical figure of like the family. Like I'm pretty sure my dad at some point in time did have a shrine built to Dale Earnhardt.
Oh, wow.
All right, we're gonna wrap this up. Once again, this is Jason Lance's 10th victory of the season as he tries for number 11 next week at Charlotte. Thank you to SimAbility, AdminBoxx, Paver still in Florida, Project VetJet, Action Sports Foundation, and everybody that watches. Make sure to give the channel a like, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff, and we'll see you guys next week. And thank you once again, Jason.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hope to talk to you some more for the end of the season.